Do it.
All right. Hello, everybody. How's it going? It's nice to see you again. And welcome back to Bloodwine. So, we're in a bit of a situation, so this is going to be a lengthier recap than usual. But first, we have someone who isn't normally here. Hello.
Hello. I don't know where to wave. Okay, there we go. Hello.
You can wave at us too.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi!
So, yeah. You guys are in a clearing in the woods. You've just received one new head in addition to your previously owned head.
In a box.
Yeah.
Contained.
And in addition to that, you kind of just had people find you. You're in the middle of this long, empty logging trail that basically just goes on the road and then in the middle of nowhere forever with no turnoffs and then back on the main road a ways from now. That's basically the intro for you guys. What would you guys say to get Lane up to speed?
We got
How do you feel about conspiracies?
I love them.
Every fucking time. Every time he meets a new person. Okay, so the world is kind of shitty. 25 years ago, there was sort of a race war, and it was bad. Things are kind of better now, but we've recently discovered that a sect of dark magic users who slurp the life force out of people and then sort of take their place in society have infiltrated almost every level of government in every major city and are using that power to nefarious means.
And the war 25 years ago was basically the last time they all kind of united in a front secretly, but like...
So that's kind of the stakes where we
But
don't know what
they're-
they're planning next, but it could
And they're
be,
much older than that.
Okay.
So it could be worse. It could that's essentially that's essentially what we know they're capable of. We don't know if they're capable of more. So it's sort of a conspiracy.
And the party is currently gathered around two things, one of which is a open-topped crate, which Bea is finding the lid for, which contains a man named Kree's head. And next to it is a bucket that's had a pot lid chained to it and locked, with like an indigo fluid kind of dripping out of it. Tell us about that.
Okay, so these life drinkers, they're immortal, and they don't die, ever.
Right.
You decapitate them, that head's still alive, and it will eventually regrow a full body. So to prevent that, we just lock it in a space that's too small for it to keep growing.
Would it grow like a weird potato and get all like squished up in the box?
No, they tend to just kind of stop growing
Okay.
once their head
That's
is
kind of
through.
disappointing, honestly.
It's just head.
It's kind of just head, but they're still awake and still alive and very angry.
It would be very disturbing to like take the pot off of this thing and you just see a dude who's like contortionist, all of his limbs just like in the shape of a bucket, and you just kind of like tilt it over and you just kind of
Time
slides
to,
out slowly.
guys. We forgot to trim the blood drinker yesterday.
Oh man, we always forget to trim the life drink.
So now this particular one was a very powerful elemental magic user, and so he kept burning through the box. So we created a sleeping potion and are continually waterboarding him in sleeping potion.
Yes.
Okay.
Luckily, he's unconscious for it. We hope.
And various hatchets to the head.
But the thing
They,
is,
they don't have a properly built container, so instead of being like sci-fi mode where you have this head in like a sedative and it's just floating with little bubbles in a room with lights that goes wah wah wah, instead they're just like oh shit, and it's in a bucket with a pot lid chained to the top so nothing sloshes out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like pickling the head in the sleeping potion.
Basically, pickled head.
He was kind of causing problems.
Well, yeah.
He zapped my
So-
character for like 5 minutes straight before they could figure out a solution.
It was very fun because Will's like, all right, roll for that damage. And Reginald was like, okay, and I'm immune to this lightning because my armor's too good. So I'm just, I don't like this. It was very fun.
Sounds like it.
So now we have two heads.
Now we have two heads because Kree was stupid enough to attack us.
2 heads and like 254 more to go.
Yeah.
And if I remember correctly, it was the late afternoon, right? Or was it still earlier in the morning?
It was late afternoon
Okay.
when we had bolted.
So you guys, there's a bunch of corpses. There is an enemy combatant that you've captured.
Right.
Who is bound and gagged and still unconscious. Red's taking care of that enemy's wounds. what else am I missing here? Right, you guys are around basically the old broken down ruin of what was probably some sort of building. It's way too old to be anything but basically like occasional bits of wall on the ground. Otherwise, you're in the middle of buttfuck nowhere in the forest, along an old logging trail, and you were just found, interestingly, in a way that bypassed your wards.
Okay.
Not like magically was able to,
Right.
just like this is the thing that wards can't prevent against is like systematic searches and stuff.
The invisibility cloak only does so much, but if someone trips on you, they've tripped on you.
Exactly.
Okay. So, we were found out.
Mhm.
That's really, really, really bad.
Mhm.
Really bad.
Fuck!
Thank- Well put, Elmira. Well put. Well, we're in the middle of nowhere, and they found us, which has kind of been my strategy this whole time, was just to stay in the middle of nowhere.
Do I have one of the shifters? Because like I think we ended last session with me holding one of the shifters as
Yeah,
he was
yeah.
trying to
That's the
escape.
guy. That's the guy that Red is sending to his wounds.
He's
Yeah.
unconscious.
Oh, okay.
You held him too good.
And we
Super
decided
open.
that the rest of the corpses were just regular old Joes, right?
Yeah,
They're
they
not
weren't-
moving.
They weren't life drinkers. They're dead. Okay. Well, we fended off that one. So, good job, team.
Should we decapitate them anyway?
No, we probably shouldn't, because I feel like that would be a war crime.
They're dead.
Yeah, who gives a fuck?
It's
About
a
war crimes.
As I've said many times, if you're breaking one law, no need to break two.
I mean, you're already going to jail. Might as well go to jail for doing some fun shit.
No, you can't.
Rollins leans in and goes, I would like to interject. I'm a bit of a newcomer to this whole situation, but if I recall, doesn't chopping off the head actually not help that much?
That's true.
No, good point, Rollins. Thank you.
But
So maybe we don't butcher dead bodies for no reason.
Thank you,
But-
Rollins.
Damn it.
Have we ever tested chopping off the head and putting it on a spike?
Yes.
We did? When did we test that?
I mean, we put a hatchet in him, and he's still fine.
That's fair.
My hatchet, I might add. Okay.
It
So
stopped
if
him
we
from
were to-
shooting electricity at me.
theoretical
You're right.
question: if we were to slice the head in two, which side of the head would grow the body back?
The biggest one, probably. I would imagine, or maybe, maybe it's like a consciousness thing. Which side of the brain holds consciousness?
Both of them.
Okay.
Albjorn looks towards you guys and goes, now I hate to interrupt the riveting discussion, but we need to get the fuck out of here.
That's true.
That's what I was trying to say. Thank you.
Let's get rolling.
Yep, let's grab those heads, load them up.
Let's
Yeah.
just fucking run, I guess.
Well, we can't. I mean, yes, we'll as fast as we can, considering we have 2 wagons,
And like 20 people.
20 people, half of whom don't really fight. That's fine. It's fine. Okay, let's just keep moving.
Wait, yeah, shit, what the fuck are we gonna do with these wagons?
Well, I think we could solve that when we are in a more defensible area, at the very least. I think they are tracking us somehow, and I wouldn't put it past them to be tracking us with the giant-ass wagon tracks we leave everywhere we go.
Fuck! You're right!
I would like to point out that the wagon tracks are kind of a necessity for me, as I cannot ride horses.
It's too big. And he's also really slow.
No, I've done the math on it. He's too big. He's too big for a horse. Yes, its spine would snap like a matchstick. Can we talk about this as we move?
Yeah.
Alright, let's get moving then. Albjorn motions to everyone and they get back on the wagons. Bea gets back on hers, Tiffany and It'll get back on theirs. So we're moving, and it is the late afternoon. Who's going to be at the head of the group?
Late afternoon, let me tell you.
Oh, heck. Oh, geez.
Oh, Jesus
Trunk
heck.
is at the head of the group. Rollins is behind.
Alright. So,
Okay.
we're switching to the next side of the map, correct? I believe.
Yep, that we would be.
And
Is that 3 or is that a 4?
Should be a 3, I believe.
Yep, I see it.
there we go. So as we move, how's our prisoner looking?
Your prisoner's still unconscious. You guys basically just kicked onto the road.
Okay.
You're moving down a long wagon trail. You're not moving as fast as you could be because you're kind of, frazzled, keeping your eyes open in case anything happens. You move basically to the middle of that square and then slightly down. Perfect.
There we go.
From here, the trail is supposed to go southward. That being said, you guys are very close to the main road that goes from Hammerhold to a couple of major cities, so this is going to be a well-patrolled area.
Oh, wonderful.
By now, it is dinner time.
Is the prisoner still unconscious?
We put him in a box, right? Is it a box?
No, the prisoner's not in a box.
The
The
prisoner.
shapeshifter, not the life drinker.
Okay, you're right.
Confusing, I admit, because some life drinkers are shapeshifters. Oh shit! If he's a shapeshifter, he's just gonna shift right out of the thing. Okay, I'm keeping my eye on this guy,
Yep. Which one?
the shapeshifter, because I just realized he could shapeshift right out of these.
Kree is also a shapeshifter, for the record. You guys would know this.
For the record, if I'm referring to Kree, I'll just say Kree.
Okay.
For now, shapeshifter is shapeshifter because we don't know his name.
We should put a rope through his hands.
Could you repeat
Like-
that in
like
a way that doesn't
through
sound
his
insane?
hands?
Yeah. So here's my logic.
Okay.
We can't. If he can shapeshift out of any sort of containment that we put him in,
Right.
we can't put him in we would have to put him in a box and lock the box up, right?
Sure.
But then he could just shapeshift into something smaller.
Right.
But if we put something through his hands, he can't shapeshift
Now
out of that.
to clarify, because I understood.
Vesta, roll mental ritual.
I understood everything you were saying up until the point there. Are you suggesting we bore a hole through his bones and thread it like a needle?
18.
Straight up.
18.
That bitch.
You realize that you could probably put together some sort of magical suppression talisman or something onto this guy. That being said, the bone rope thing is the thing that comes to you before this.
What do I have to roll to see if Vesta's feeling okay?
Well, that would be understand.
Oh, goody. I got a 4.
I got.
Yeah,
That's
but I
11.
Vesta, are you feeling okay?
Probably. I got a
Just
5.
checking. Okay.
I then bring up the suppression talisman. Now that I've thought of it.
Now, hang on.
Secondary to
Hang
my
on.
bone rope.
This suppression talisman doesn't involve any sort of mutilation or decapitation or
I don't think so, no. Just regular ritual alchemy stuff.
if I trust you alone with this man, am I going to come back in to walk in on a war crime?
Why do you just assume that everything is a war crime? Do you know exactly every single war crime?
Yes!
Or do you just assume that bad thing equals
Can I
war
roll
crime?
politics to list every single war crime?
Are there war crimes? Do they exist?
Do we have
They
Geneva?
don't know. There's no international tribunals.
But
Nothing is described as a war crime. Honestly, there's a lot of places where a crime is whatever the fuck a monarch decides it is.
okay. I guess okay, fine. There's no such thing as a war crime. There should be though.
Geneva doesn't exist.
Listen, I believe in ethical warfare. Okay?
I don't know what this Geneva is, but all I'm saying is we're at war.
It's my philosopher friend Geneva. She had some cool ideas about how society should be run.
Set up conventions about it?
Yeah.
That is a great idea. And maybe when we're not at war, we can do that.
I'm just saying, if we want to get information out of this prisoner, maybe we shouldn't mutilate him.
So, Pitt, the people's rights lawyer who's with you guys right now,
Oh yeah, I forgot about him!
has to split and turns into an elk and disappears into the woods.
That's not good. Corva, you,
Well, fuck.
Corva, you're vouching for that person, right? They're not. Oh, okay.
Not everyone who turns into an elk.
Well, I'm just saying we were attacked by people who turned into elk, and then.
How are we supposed to know? Who the fuck is a good elk and who the fuck are the bad elks?
That's a great
At
point.
this point, Rollins goes in and goes, "What, are you gonna start yelling at me when you get fought with somebody with a spear?"
Yes!
I'm just saying, we've been taking a lot of arrows.
Do I shoot arrows?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Well, that's not my fault!
You both raise good points. Arrows are more conventional than turning into
Okay.
an elk.
How would I set up like a suppression talisman?
Roll ritual.
Nice.
Good roll.
There's a lot of tension in that one, a lot of suspense.
10.
10. You have something rudimentary that should at least hold up to any really strong attempt.
Okay.
You weave the talisman into the actual ropes you're using to bind this dude.
Perfect.
Have you guys kept traveling while this is happening?
Yeah, I think we have him probably in the back of one of the wagons.
All right, in that case, it's evening. Who's at the head of the group?
Me and Elbjorn.
Oh, fun. Fun.
Traveling through the dinner hour, you did move a bit further. You moved another, 10 clicks.
In what direction?
Basically, a little further. Yeah, exactly. Perfect. So by now you guys are getting kind of close to the main road. You haven't seen anybody on this logging trail yet. Who'd you say was at the head of the group now?
Me and Elbjorn.
All right. Do you want to be the one to do the card thing?
Sure. I'm just saying, bone rope. Think about it.
Well, trouble is, it's Henny's rope, so.
I got rope too.
Oh.
I'm not worried about the sanitation of my rope. I'm worried about just sort of if I can live with myself once this is all done.
Luckily, by the time you guys hit the main road, I should probably actually make sure. Yeah, you haven't rolled catastrophically low. You hit the main road and have a choice to go whichever way.
Are we going up to Hammerhold? What did we decide we were gonna do? I forget.
We should go west.
That's where it just came from.
I know. They'll never be expecting. No.
That is a good point. They wouldn't be expecting it. Okay.
But I think they're tracking us, aren't they?
They tracked us. They did successfully track us, and they did have some people escape who will probably alert them to where we are, what we look like, all that sort of stuff, because we, physically didn't stop them. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Okay, I think ordinarily I would advocate for laying low, but I think that we've made our move, and I think that laying low is too slow. I think we need to go hard, go full, and see how far we can get.
Vesta, your ward takes 16 damage.
Nice. Where have I been writing down these wards?
I think I remember the last one being an 18. I don't know why I would remember that.
We can just say that it was an 18.
That seems like a Vesta kind of roll.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have like a group 38 here, but I think that was a long, long time ago. So let's just say 18.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. So it has 2 health left on it.
Yeah, your ward just took a hit but managed to repel an attempt to scry you.
Uh-oh. I let the group know.
That doesn't sound very good.
No.
No, it doesn't.
So this is happening before you guys hit the main road. Basically the entire party wants to know what they're doing. Tiffany, Bea, and Edelwald are kind of traveling merchants and need a way to make a living. Otherwise, not only can they not pay you, they might need you to pay them.
Now, here's...
Steelfist and Trunk both recommend going to sea. Johnstone and Red would want to go sort of just off into the wilderness, which would be a pain in the ass for the wagons. Otherwise, everyone else is kind of divided. They just want to get out of Dodge.
Okay, I think that we should.
I do like the going to sea option.
I think going to sea is a good way. I think.
We might have to
I think
split up with Bea and.
Yeah,
Adelaide.
I think that we're gonna have to go our separate ways. I don't think it's safe. I don't think. I mean, the wagons are too easily trackable, and the longer this goes, the more dangerous it's gonna get.
Mhm.
And they didn't sign up for this.
We don't necessarily have to split with the rest of our group because if we're on a ship, there are plenty of ports.
It's not about whether or not they can physically sell goods. It's just I don't want anything bad to happen to any of them.
And so you want to send them off on their own in the middle of enemy territory. I don't think you thought that one through.
Well, I mean, the alternative is we keep dragging them. I don't think it's them that they're tracking. They don't
Yeah.
have the heads.
Yeah, but they do have their descriptions.
Yeah, they have them now.
That's true. That's a fair point. But
Well, why don't we ask them?
I mean, I think I don't know. I feel like there's like
Are the wagons theirs?
yes.
You guys are moments away from hitting the main road. Now is basically the question of like, turn left or turn right.
Right. Or towards the sea.
Where's this? Okay.
All right. You basically end up right before the next hamlet.
Okay. I just want to interject on that. And when Chelsea brought up we should talk to them about it, I really wanted to just go, now the key to any healthy relationship is communication.
Thanks, Rosie. I will keep that in mind.
I guess he would know. And not for good reasons.
Not for
Poor Reggie.
had a good relationship reasons.
Reggie was just recently divorced.
Due to
Let's
poor
be-
communication.
In a way, it wasn't that recent of a divorce.
Yeah, I guess it was some time ago.
A month ago.
Yeah, but like, she hasn't spoken to you in.
Years.
It was recent for him.
So, luckily, because of the time of night that you're traveling on this road, even though it's a main road, you don't really encounter anybody. You are almost at the next hamlet, and by now it's the early night. The sun has fully set and the moon is rising.
Okay, well, we should probably make a camp of sorts.
Okay, sounds good. I'm going to set up some more wards, and I'm going to get Blue to help me set up some more wards.
And I think we're going to have a serious meeting in the morning.
All right. They go off road a little ways. It takes you a bit of time. Who's going to be sort of like trying to find the best campsite here? Because you guys really have a lot of priority on the main level.
I could.
All right. Do you want to roll science?
Science?
I'll help.
I think science is one of the ones that.
Yeah, it should be one dot.
Yeah. Oh, oof. I got a 3.
Well, in science.
Ready to get
Max,
shown
never
off.
heard of her. Yeah, prepare to be impressed, boys. That's a 22.
All right, so we got 22 plus
I helped!
3.
25.
All right. So, Elmira and Henny both head off to find a campsite. Managed to find one a little ways away. Luckily, around here, you're close to the base of the mountains, and you're also in sort of like the coniferous forests around here, so it's easy to be hidden away just over like a few rises, a few boulders, and some dense trees. You find an abandoned place to settle down so you can hide the wagons from being obvious. That being said, you are actually going to camp here. This isn't really a building. Like the last place you were, it's more the husk of a building.
Blue! Me and Blue, let's do some warden time.
All right. Blue moves up to assist you with your warding.
14 for me.
All right. He adds... I believe that would be plus 21 to the roll.
Nice. 37 on our ward.
All right. Otherwise, everyone else is settling into this campsite, and nobody really seems too intent on falling asleep.
Well, some of us do actually need to sleep so we're not dog tired in the morning.
Yep. Who's on watch?
It's late night, early night.
Early night.
Me and Elbjorn again.
All right.
Kate. Well, good night, friends. I'll make a plan in the morning.
Okay.
All right. It's about a half hour into your watch when the prisoner stirs.
Okay. Who wanted to talk to the prisoner again?
I mean, I did. But it's...
Okay, I wake.
Pretty much, mostly Henny.
I wake up Henny.
What's going on?
Prison is awake.
Okay, time to go see if you skewered his hands, I guess. And I walk over to where the prisoner is.
Well, no bone rope.
Oh, you're lucky, friend.
The guy's sort of like half awake and just looks at you. Human. Just sort of half hazy, isn't saying anything.
So,
How do you feel about conspiracies?
how's the head doing?
What do you want from me?
Well, you know, we were kind of our lives were threatened a little bit. You know, just want to know sort of how you found us, sort of how much you know about who you were working for.
Oh, you're not gonna get me that easily. I've been through extensive counter-terrorist training. You're not gonna get a fucking word from me.
Counter-terrorist training. I mean, we're not terrorists.
Of course not.
You should do the bone rope thing.
I mean, hey, look, at least okay. I wasn't the one who was planning to put a bone rope through your fucking hands. I mean,
Is it Vesta or Elbjorn who's keeping an eye out?
Elbjorn.
All right. The early night doesn't seem to have anything hidden in it.
so a stag, pretty cool maneuver, eh? Read any good books lately? Not much of a talker, eh?
What'd I say?
Nothing, actually.
Bingo.
Man, I must have. So they are training you. That's interesting. And I write that down.
Got like a little clipboard.
Little clipboard. So they just kind of left you here, eh?
You know, there's a lot of trees around here. I'm sure that they'd be just as interested as I am to hear what you have to say.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they are. That's why I'm trying to.
How many people did you think you could kill before you got caught? What are you even trying to achieve?
I mean, it's just weird to me that they are employing people who don't have their life drinker capabilities. I mean, what are you gaining from this? Are they
Life
paying
drinker capabilities.
Are they paying you? Are they, like, you're clearly not in a great spot in society. Just, sort of posing questions. The void here, eh?
Guess so.
Want something to eat, or...
Why Vulcan?
Vulcan is an idiot.
He was spearheading an important infrastructure project.
He was an easy target.
Why would you want to take that down?
Oh, important project, please. It was a novelty at best.
So you don't like technology, eh?
Creativity.
Ooh. Oh
Understanding.
man, that's wrong. But I'm not gonna dignify that with a response.
You didn't say why Vulcan. You just hurt people you don't like?
I mean, that's you just hurt people. Whoever is like, oh hey, go get him, go get him. There's.
So
You
you're
don't-
taking orders?
Oh, you don't know, do you?
Not unless you tell me.
Oh shit, he doesn't know.
Hey,
Roll understand.
That's a 7.
You're being counter-interrogated.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, well, Vesta,
Yeah.
you can probably decapitate him now. We're not gonna get anything out of this guy. And as I leave, I wink at you.
At me?
At you. At Vesta.
Goes to the soldier and just like,
No, I'm winking at you. I'm winking at you. I'm trying to do a good cop, bad cop thing.
Oh. I thought you were winking at the guy.
No! I'm winking as I
Probably
leave.
decapitate him.
Wink. No, I'm winking at you. As in, it's your turn to go in and try and get something out of this guy.
the sad part is that is Henny's version of flirting. Like, she just doesn't understand that. Like,
She really doesn't.
like that's probably the equivalent. It's just like, I'm totally gonna fake them out and think that like they're about to get their head chopped off, but really, I want to bang. Wink.
So I guess Vesta just gives me a weird look. I'm gonna think real hard, and I'm gonna think about who would be sort of the most like something of good cop, bad cop interrogation. Who's really good at understanding people, and who's really good at sort of, roughing up people. And I settle on not you, Reggie. And I was thinking of Trunk and Elmira.
All right.
I'm gonna wake up Trunk and Elmira.
Oh, what?
What the fuck do you want, bitch?
That's
I'll
loud.
sleep in here.
I know. Okay, I know. I was trying to get that prisoner's awake, and I can't get anything out of him. He's been trained too well, and
Oh boy, poor Hetty can't do her fucking job.
hey,
Okay,
you,
come on.
that's why you and you two.
Henny does her job perfectly well, and this is our job. All right, come on.
And I guess now you have to play two people at once. I'm sorry.
No, I can do that.
Okay.
So, yeah, you and Trunk walk up towards where you see that there's a couple of there's the one prisoner there. Rollins has woken up as well and is on the periphery holding the spear.
All right, fuckwad, what do you got to tell us? Yeah, that's right. I'm talking to you, cunt. You shit-faced, you dick beard. That's right. Your beard is made of dicks. How do you like that? How do you like that? I can keep going.
I generally enjoy my dick beard lifestyle, yes.
You do?
It brings me a lot of satisfaction.
I'm glad to hear that. Not a lot of people are sexually satisfied these days.
You're not very well trained, are you?
Who the fuck do you think you're talking to?
Who am I talking to? Good question.
And
And who am I talking to? You,
At this
Mr.
point, like-
Dick Beard.
Trunk puts a hand on you. Elmira and goes, okay.
Also, I just want to say before this goes too far, I did tell them that if they can't get anything out of him, you should probably kill him so that he doesn't tell his friends and escape or whatever.
Alright, at this point, Trunk leans in and goes... Actually, he backs up a bit right after doing that, and he looks to Henny and Vesta and goes, Did you check if he's a...
No.
I mean, we did, because...
No, we didn't.
At this point, like, Trunk moves and pulls you guys off, and it's like, Did you?
I just assumed that Kree was... I mean, I thought there would be
No.
more if there was...
Why? Okay, so why are we going to be executing a prisoner?
Because we are in the middle of being hunted. We can't let him go because he'll tell him exactly where we are and what we're planning to do because he's been listening this whole time.
They know where we are. We cannot murder.
You're right.
Look, do you even know if this poor fool is a life drinker?
I don't think he's a life drinker. I don't even think he knows what's going on.
You're presumably still standing with the rest. Trunk has been deaf since he was 10. The prisoner can hear this.
Oh, okay. Can I try to distract him or cover up all of it by just yelling profanities at him?
At this point, you're trying, but you can hear him responding with, So what's a life drinker then?
Would you like to know, bitch?
I would.
Well, too bad. I ain't telling you.
Shame.
Yeah,
I know
it
how
is a
that
real
feels.
shame. Do you know? Idiot breath.
Bro, your breath is down.
Is this the Is this the reincarnation of that man in the other campaign that we kept in the cage until we accidentally burned him alive?
I'm trying my best.
No, not you. The man in the cage, the prisoner.
I mean,
I
it's
thought
just
you just had a man in a cage who was screaming at you all the time. And you
No,
accidentally burned him alive.
no, I'm talking about the prisoner. He had the same
I mean-
swanky attitude.
non-compliance isn't necessarily an innate personality trait. It's just generally something that people who have been captured will do.
Yeah.
So how do we check if a person's a life drinker or not? Do we just cut off a finger, see what happens?
Sure. I mean, scientifically speaking, that's a method. And
Or do we just like, because they heal a lot faster than other people, right?
It's a shame that we don't have a dagger that can detect life drinkers.
that guy was an asshole. We would have been captured by now if he was still here.
That being said, the life drinker knife thing that you're referring to from ages back
Mhm.
was powered by something that Vesta can do.
Oh, how do I do it again?
Do you know what I'm talking about?
I do. I remember having to. I needed
You used alchemy to extract the essence of life drinkerness
out of blood. Wasn't it
out of
blood?
blood. Yeah.
I guess I do have two heads.
Well,
I mean,
no, like you can literally just take some of his blood and do the same process and see if you can extract it the same way.
Or, I mean, the chop off a finger route seems like more immediate results.
Just
Why do you
because-
want to hurt people?
I don't want to hurt people. I just.
What would cutting off the finger accomplish?
It would tell us whether or not he has the ability to flip life from people
I would
and
like
heal
to.
himself.
I would like to. What's the easiest way to? Because I'm guessing we don't have like a sanitary needle, right? So I'm just gonna have to cut his hand a little bit to get some blood.
Yeah, you just use a knife.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I get a vial, get a knife, go to the dude, cut his hand a little bit, get some blood out of it.
All right, he doesn't even flinch. This guy's hardened. You have some blood, and you can roll alchemy on it.
Okay. I need another die. Let's go. Oh, that wasn't very good, but whatever.
It's actually average.
Yeah. Okay.
6-3-3-1.
It's actually perfectly average.
Well, it would be if it was 6-3-4-1.
That's true. That's true. Okay.
It's slightly
Math
below
facts.
average.
Slightly below average. 12, 13, 16.
See, you can do math just
Okay.
fine.
Yeah, good job.
So, the last time you did this, it would have taken ages to extract the essence, which was what you were trying to do. Here, it doesn't take long to discern that there isn't any in this blood. It does still take you until the next watch, though. Who's on watch in the late night?
Absolution Rollins.
All right, the pair of them are awake now for their watch. Well, Rollins was already.
So this guy isn't a life drinker. Should we just?
That's my. And I look at nobody and go, my hunch was right.
Should we just drop him off?
Yes. What we should do is
I'm
we should
not
drop
awake.
him off.
I can't.
Get rid of him.
Well, maybe
I'll-
that can be on the itinerary for a morning meeting. Or maybe we
I'm
should
gonna
deal
make
with
a
this before
sleep-
he hears everything.
I'm gonna make a sleeping potion.
All right.
Another sleeping thing. Find another log.
You'll have to go and find something calming or a calming place or something.
Yeah.
So as far away from Henny as possible.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I go find another like log or something.
You're in the woods in the middle of the night.
That's right. It's kind of spooky.
What about the calming essence of smokeweed? No, it's always swamp grass, and I say smokeweed, and I don't know why.
Isn't that what it is in like RimWorld?
Yeah. Yes, that's what it is.
Yes. Okay. We almost need like a third person on watch to just watch this guy
I will watch this guy.
all night.
If that's what it takes. Me and Reggie will switch up.
You volunteered, Reggie.
Yes.
So you're waking me up.
Yes.
Okay,
I'm
cool.
already awake.
I'm glad that I'm awake now.
I mean, Elmira and Trunk can go to bed.
Yeah, you two can go to bed.
Okay.
I would like to talk to this guy now.
All right.
Now, Reggie, okay, listen, I'm going to go get a little bit of sleep.
Fess is gonna.
You come wake me up. We're going to take like a watch shift on this. Now, I don't think we're going to be able to get anything out of this guy. He's been just like really trained really well in military interrogation tactics, and nobody here really knows anything about that. So,
You just have yourself a good night.
Yeah, don't feel too bad if you can't get anything out of him. It's been a slog.
How old does this guy look?
Maybe like early 30s.
Okay, so
The kind of person who would be described as a young space adult, but it would be inaccurate to describe as a young adult.
what I'm saying is he didn't fight in the last war.
Probably would have been like 5.
Okay. Cool. Okay. I'm gonna go up to him and just kind of be like, so, they say that you're pretty hardened.
Good to know.
That and, well, let's face it, Henny's not really the person to be conducting this interview, really.
Seems to have a bit of an ego, that one.
Just a little bit. Reggie's actually going to, like, sit down, like, right next to him. And just be like...
Like side by side?
Like, side by side. And just kind of go, you ever hear tales of the war?
Of course.
I fought in that war.
I didn't.
I died in that war. And they kept bringing up ideas. Henny kept telling me ideas. Such ridiculous ideas. Chop off a finger and see how that goes. Stuff like that. To be fair, that wasn't my idea. Hell, they were even saying to, like, keep you from shifting, they should put a rope through your hand. Would that even work?
No.
Yeah, I didn't think so. So, what training do you have?
Lots?
I'm gonna roll me some militactic for interrogation. That's okay with you.
Go for it.
Not assault, because, like, that doesn't work. Alright, so, I got something going on there.
We are doing some militactics. So this is going to get you a bit of a perspective on this guy.
Alright. That would be a... is an 8, and that is a 13.
13 total. So, based on what this guy was doing, he's a shapeshifter, melee fighter, was fighting in rank, seems to have, like, a counter-interrogation training to a certain degree in that, like, completely, like, detached and lackadaisical from the entire thing. Not that you guys have put the screws on, but, like, it's not going to be easy. That being said, you also recognize that because this dude isn't a life drinker, he seems actually somewhat surprised by the word. Like, he doesn't seem to be like, oh no, they know what we are. Like, he seems to be like, oh, what does life drinker mean? Otherwise, what you can discern is that this guy probably isn't in charge of much. He's more soldier than commander. He isn't someone super important. To them, at least.
Okay. Well, it seems like, you know, Creed wasn't exactly the one to train you on shifting. Although, he, from what I could see in that fight, he was quite experienced himself. Do you know where Cree actually learned? Neither do I. Because, you see, Cree is actually incredibly old. And, I mean, this group throws around the phrase a whole lot. You've probably heard Hanny shouting about life drinkers.
Did I have?
Well, I could tell you about them if you want.
I'll go for it.
Well, the thing is, they actually just have spent the last, I don't even know how long, trying to take control of everything. Succeeding in some parts.
So that's the motivation. These life drinkers need to go down.
Well,
What makes someone a life drinker?
I wish I knew. See, I'm like you. I don't really know much about this group. I just kind of tagged on about it. And they keep throwing that word around, life drinker this, life drinker that, but Doesn't seem like they know very much about it either.
So then you're just killing people.
No, not killing people. This is well researched. We just don't know the process about it.
So you research your victims.
In a sense. We research their past.
So you're hunting people with a certain past.
Well, I mean, can you blame me? After all, I did tell you that I fought in the last war.
So then why does Vulcan have a past?
Well, he's a powerful elementalist, and,
So you needed to take him down because he's a powerful elementalist?
no, he just had a past.
So then you're going after people with pasts.
Long pasts. Pasts that don't make much sense.
And you're not doing this with any legal authority? You're doing it vigilante style?
Well, sometimes there's authority. Sometimes there's not. Like, let's face it, we travel to one region, we travel to another. Sometimes there's authority and sometimes there's not.
So you're on the run.
Not on a run. We're just traveling.
So then there's no real reason you're hunting these people, are there? Just this vague past thing.
Well,
Who's telling you what these pasts are?
let me tell you this. I know their pasts because I fought against them and I killed them in the war. And they killed my friends. And it's not a vengeance thing, it's not a revenge thing. It's just when you kill someone, they ought to stay dead. It's for the best at times.
That kind of past, eh?
Yeah.
Like reincarnated or immortal or something.
Less reincarnation and more
I've never heard of this before.
bastards won't stay down.
Where'd you learn about it?
Encountered it?
So you had some personal experiences.
You could say that.
Why
Anyway,
don't you tell me about these life drinker experiences?
I'd rather not. Because you know the reason why I'm telling you this? Because if you haven't told us anything by morning, you're just going to end up dead. We don't. If you're not willing to share information, that's it.
I'm aware.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so long as you're aware. And can I roll convince in one last, like, ditch effort to tell, like,
Go for it.
get this guy to tell us? Got rid of Omen Watcher for this. Okay. That would be another 13.
All right, another 13. He looks at you and just goes, this entire group, you know what they say about you?
No, what?
No, like, are you aware of what people say about you?
Nope, can't say that I've heard any rumors about us.
Rovering murderers targeting important people at random,
Yeah, they would say that, wouldn't they?
massive property destruction, arson, the rampant murder's the big one, theft. They say that you're involved in some sort of big explosion, that you guys blew up some sort of mining project.
No, I can't remember that one.
You weren't there.
I was there.
Oh, were you?
That was the thing that Jordan did.
Oh, right.
That
right.
wasn't our fault. Genuinely, he was a psychopath and did it.
Yeah.
And it's just like, can't remember that. There was one incident where there was actually a guy going around murdering the townfolk. That was more vigilante than anything else.
So then maybe before you come at me with the sword, you think about what you really know about me. Because what do I really know about you?
Well, I just told you.
Did you?
Yeah. Reggie just continues to stare at this dude.
All right. Who else would be on watch right now? Absolution and Rollins, right?
Yeah.
It's while you're staring that you hear Rollins go, "Do you hear that? Do you?
Do I? I'm a turtle.
No?
So, yes, in case you're wondering, I'm a giant turtle.
I picked that up right now, actually.
Yeah.
I can't. No, I can't hear it anymore. I don't think it's anything. Who's on watch next?
Drunken Elmira.
All right.
Yeah, and I guess whenever Reggie wants to switch up watching this dude.
I don't wake you up.
Okay.
All right. So by now it's the witching hour. It has been literal hours. So like the staring contest is probably ended at this point. Otherwise, like Reggie's probably getting real stiff.
You're not wrong, but like at the shift change, he's just gonna kind of get up and go. Oh.
Is Reggie ever not stiff?
He does vigorous training every day.
Oh sure, but he's also old.
He does
And a
his
turtle.
calisthenics.
Okay,
and
okay.
yeah, he's old, but he's
Okay.
a swift boy.
We do need to have somebody watching this guy.
Oh, he's still watching him. He's just kind of getting up, roaming around,
Okay.
checking, probably
So-
talking to Trunk and Elmira. just
Elmira
like-
hears what maybe it was that Rollins was mentioning. I mean, you mentioned potentially hearing something on
Mhm.
guard shift, of course. And yeah, you hear it's like a very, very faint rustling.
As I hear something. Like some sort of faint rustling or something.
Want me to go check it out? You can watch this guy.
Alright, I'll watch Dick for Beard.
As you turn towards Dick for Beard and you step down, you hear like the rustling of the leaves on the ground, like the pine needles on the ground as you walk, and you hear almost like a squelchy crunch. You look down. You see that there's a bunch of little spiders that have gone all through the leaf litter around the camp. They're starting to crawl into people's tents.
Guys, we got fucking spiders!
I go for Kree's chest.
Still seems to be shut. You managed to nail shut the crate at the top.
No, I mean put a hatchet in his head.
Okay, you go to a nailed shut chest. You sort of pry it open inside his Korea's head and you go, whoa! And down he goes.
Close it back up again. Has that stopped the spiders?
They don't seem to be acting in such a singular way anymore. Now they all seem to be going every which way. You are awoken by biting. You are awoken by biting.
Oh gosh.
They're like, you don't take any damage. They're just normal spider bites, but you have to shake out your entire bedroll. The entire camp ends up waking up and shaking all of these spiders out of everything.
I would like to do an Omen Watcher on keeping this guy alive.
Go for it.
You don't roll Omen Watcher.
Oh, right, yeah. Well, ask it as a question.
Okay.
Like,
How do I feel about letting this guy go rather than just straight up killing him?
that's a difficult question. Oh, how do I put it? I guess if I had to say which one it is, I would say that you have a better feeling about letting him go than keeping him.
Then
I'll
killing him?
let you rephrase the question because this one's kind of a really weird one.
Okay. Well, we definitely don't want to keep him around.
No.
So, like, our options are
I-
just let him go.
My question is, are we screwing ourselves over by letting him go?
Yeah, are we screwing ourselves over by letting him go?
In that regard, you have a good feeling about letting him go.
So we won't be screwing ourselves over by letting him go? I don't know. Maybe we should just let him go.
Yeah, no. Trunk talked some sense into me. I was paranoid, and I let that get the better of me.
But we'll wait until morning because, you know.
All right. who's on guard next?
Twilight is Steel Fist and Johnstone.
All right. In that case, you guys don't hear anything else until morning comes. Now it's dawn. You guys kind of just flopped over and slept. Would you... Actually, I guess everybody who's tired would have had just enough sleep, but just barely.
Yeah. Just
You're
barely.
fine.
I'm fine.
Yeah.
So who's
Okay.
able to heal from sleep?
No, I've not.
I think I am.
I got woken up by spiders.
Oh yeah, you're on the threshold, so yeah, you'd be able to.
I don't think I would. Well, yeah. I mean, if you're letting me heal from sleep, oh boy, I'll heal from sleep.
Is that?
Did you actually... Oh, wait, right. How much of the
If you
night
got that,
would you have
it's on
actually
the
ended up
threshold.
sleeping?
Um,
Would it be accurate to
I
say the
don't know.
majority?
yeah, the majority. Because I woke up and then I talked to the guy for a bit, talked to Drunken Elmira, and then I went back to bed.
All right. In that case, you heal 10.
Will, question about the
Mhm.
Elmira sheet. Is that her current threshold, or is that her max threshold?
Current health.
No, like her current health.
Thresholds are all normal.
Yeah, okay, thresholds are all normal, so you can heal from sleep.
Okay.
All right, and you heal 11.
11. Can I have? Oh, thank you.
So it's dawn now.
Henny is
Dawn o'clock.
Henny is.
I talked to everybody about just letting the dude go.
Well, I talking in hushed voices we can't hear. Wink, wink. I think.
What was that?
What?
I can't fucking hear you.
I sign. Who here can speak sign language?
You can...
I can.
No, I don't understand.
Sean can?
Mhm. And then I think, yeah, both of you guys can.
No. Just talking like a...
Okay, fine.
Just talk normally, and we'll say that it was a hushed voice, just because, like, if you actually whisper.
Oh my god. Okay. I was trying to solve the problem if he can't hear because he's an old man, but whatever.
You guys are in the wilderness. You can just walk like 100 meters into the woods.
Yeah.
That's
Okay,
all
fine.
it takes.
Okay, fine. We'll go 100 meters out of the woods and have this conversation.
Okay.
I don't think we should kill him.
Yeah, I think we should just let him go.
I think I'd let my paranoia get the better of me and make a really, really rash decision. We should not kill him. He doesn't know what's going on. He's not a life drinker. He's just some kid that got
Isn't he
roped
like
into this.
35 or something?
He's a bit older than you.
Right, but in terms of the immortal scale of the life drinkers,
Well,
Yeah,
then
I
we're
guess
all
you're right.
kids.
I mean,
Except for Boru.
This is kid on kid violence.
Playground shit.
right. This is playground shit, and we want to work with the real gun. The metaphor makes no sense. Whatever. I was trying to say he's more or less innocent, and he's heard what he's heard. I mean, I certainly didn't let anything slip. So I mean, my
I
vote,
certainly acted perfectly.
I didn't say acted perfectly, but I don't think I let any vital information slip, like where we're going next or whatever. I think we should let him go. I mean, well, no, you don't want to. I guess a part of me thinks if you let him go just in the, well, if you let him go in the wilderness, he'll be fine. He's a big boy. You're right. He's an adult. He's a grown ass man. He'll be fine if we just drop him in the woods.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Maybe we'll even untie his hands. Who knows? That was a joke.
Okay.
We'll untie his hands.
Let's let him go, and then move on.
All right. You move up to him. You take out the gag. You explain that he's being let go, and you take down the rope. It involves getting rid of the shifting talisman.
Yeah.
At this point, he's very calm, and he goes, "I'm going to shift into a bird. Which way should I fly?"
I have no idea.
Okay, so we're headed west.
You didn't
Right.
say that out
No,
loud.
no, I'm talking about.
Jesus Christ.
No.
Well,
I'm talking amongst like IRL in real
So then
life.
north or south?
I tell him it depends where you want to go.
Civilization.
Well, Hammerhold's out to the east.
I'll go to Hammerhold. He sort of just raises his hands, backs up, flutters off.
Okay, well. Okay.
What did you want to say?
Nothing, it's not important. Moving on. I want to gather everybody up and do a quick round table meeting to decide what on earth we're going to do with our lives next.
Yeah.
All right, everyone's there. Everyone's awake and packing their things.
Okay, so I think we're at a bit of a crossroads, sort of literally and metaphorically. I think.
Okay. So we're gonna be headed to the sea. Bea, Adelwald, what's the third person's name? Tiffany. I don't know if there's gonna be a lot of like advantage for you to stay with us because there's not gonna be a lot of chance for you to sell stuff, and they're not looking for you. But it might also be dangerous at this point because they do know who you are for you to just go off. So it is up to you whether or not you want to stay with us or not stay with us. But we're gonna head to the sea, probably take a boat, go find Mr. Dwarf Man, probably.
I don't think that the path that we go on has any room for anybody that's not, fully behind this cause and would like to die for it, if I'm being totally honest.
Tiffany speaks up and goes, well, there's strength in numbers at least till we get to the port.
Yeah.
Yep. No, absolutely. And we're not kicking you out. It's just, it's dangerous. It's really dangerous. And we should have given you guys an out a long time ago.
Yeah.
And
All right, well, you guys are off on the road then, aren't you?
Yep. Off on the road. Oh, I need to find something
you need to make
peaceful.
that potion. What are you doing?
Something peaceful. I find another.
You find nothing around here.
Nothing. Okay. Let's move on. I need to find something peaceful.
Like, what do I have to roll to see if the drugs could have a peaceful element to them?
What do you mean?
I mean, if swamp grass relaxes you.
Do you have it? Do you have swamp grass?
We know canonically that, what's his face
Rollins.
does? Rollins does.
Yeah, did you ask him?
I haven't, because I don't know if it would even work yet.
You're not an alchemist. You have no fucking clue.
Damn it.
All right, so who's at the head of the group?
It's Dawn,
Mhm.
Henny, and Reggie.
Okay.
Presumably you guys are making a quick pack up and leave.
I thought Dawn was like the name of a guy. I'm like, who's Dawn?
It's Dawn! Yay, Dawn! Woohoo!
Dawn's here.
Like, it's not that unusual for us to have a Dawn in the crew. Like,
Yeah.
I imagine there would be a Dawn.
There's a campaign I ran where I had an NPC whose name was Don Pyle, I think.
Yeah, Don Pyle.
Oh,
Don Pyle. I remember Don Pyle.
Inquisitor Pyle.
Inquisitor Dawn Pyle. Who was a magical anime boy with 2 rapiers that he would, like, stab into somebody's chest and then blast them with arcane energy.
Yeah, he's
And then
basically
dust
a
himself
more-
off and go, well, that was fine.
He's basically a more magical blue.
I tried to make the most like edgy OC like powerful mage fighter dude. And so the dude's basically like a 2-sticking warrior monk with celestial powers. And then the gimmick was basically, and now everything cool about that I'm gonna ruin by him just being the worst. Like, he wasn't a bad person, it was just like he had like a bowl cut and a mustache and
greasy hair.
yeah.
I remember you were very descriptive about his greasy frickin' hair.
Oh man.
So right. Henny and Reggie, whoever's at the head of the group, somebody's got to draw a card.
I'll do it.
Okay. So, did you notice anything
Alright.
weird about that dude?
Queen of Spades or 4 of Diamonds.
Oh, it's so tough.
4 of Diamonds. Well,
So you make it to the next, basically to the edge of the next map square over.
okay. I just need an eraser to actually be able to do this.
Sorry, what were you saying before that?
Well, I mean, the guy hasn't really seen much in the way of action yet. He's a hardened soldier. He's trained, sure, but he's never really, like, fought in a war.
Yeah, he didn't know what he was in.
He had no idea what he was into.
Which is, exactly why we're doing what we're doing, I guess. I'm sorry for not taking things more rationally there. I was gonna kill him.
Yeah, you were. Would have been pretty nasty.
I don't think you're allowed to talk. about what would be nasty to do to a person.
You're probably right.
So by now it's the
Taking
early
out her
morning.
cookeries and just like sharpening them on each other.
By now it's the early morning, and you're starting to see wandering adventurers and traders on the road. At this point, there's enough people that you couldn't like get the advanced scout to run back and warn people quite as effectively.
Well, hold your breath. Maybe wear your cloaks a little higher than usual, and put on masks if you have them. I guess that's what I used to do.
All right. People start drawing up their scarves nice and high, getting a little bit more incognito. And
Reggie
heading out on the
tilts
road.
his hat down lower.
And he tilts her cowboy hat even lower. And like,
now, if you tilt it that low, you won't really be an effective guard, and he just tilts it back up.
I look like you, don't I?
You have a cowboy hat. I have an awesome hat.
I readjust it so it's straight.
Now, what time is it? Perfect. Things aren't going so good. From now on in, you're going to keep traveling, but I want you guys to just roll odds or evens every time that it happens. So now it's the early morning. Who's at the head of the group?
Henny and Reggie still.
Evens. Like
Okay.
right now, you mean?
Yep.
Instead
One
of drawing
die.
a card? Even.
Both. So also card.
Okay. I'm gonna do them both at the same time. Evens. Okay, so it wasn't evens.
Mm-hmm.
But you have a 6 of spades or a 4 of
I
spades.
am taking the 4 of spades.
Oh, big surprise on that one.
Okay. So you're traveling along the side of the road when the cart sort of, or you're on Bea's wagon, I presume. It sort of
Yes.
skitters off a little onto the ditch, and you hear the cracking of a like spoke on the wheel.
No.
At this point, you guys are playing in the middle of the road, so you gotta act fast. You're about halfway through fixing it, and luckily, I mean, you guys are clever. A lot of people happen to be on the side, which is away from the main road, and there's a group of soldiers wearing the colors that you would expect, blue and white for the region. They seem to be asking people about things, and they approach. Based on where you are, they can currently perfectly openly see Reggie and Vesta. They don't see anyone else clearly, and you have a bit of plausible deniability for trying to sneak off into the forest. There's enough of you that, like, if everyone did it, it'd be obvious, but if 1 or 2 people did, you might not know. There's four soldiers.
I'll definitely go off into the forest, be like, go pee.
Unfortunately, you guys are the ones that are in plain view.
Oh, okay. Never mind then.
And he's in the back swearing, trying to fix this.
I guess I'm sneaking off.
Bear, get the spoke. Fuck.
All right, roll Grace.
That's 4, right?
Mhm.
Oh god. Okay. 2, 4, 9 plus 6 is 15.
All right. You quickly almost like roll off your saddle to the side and then get past the ditch and into the brush before anybody
Alright.
gets too close. You manage to get behind a tree.
Can I like watch from where I am? Okay.
You have a good vantage point, and you're able to draw your weapons if you need to.
Okay.
The guards walk towards Vesta and Reggie. Well, hello.
Hello.
Having trouble with the wagon there?
Yeah, the wheel just, bit of thing. Fixing it real quick.
Do you need any assistance?
No, I don't think so. I think they got it.
Excellent. Could we have a moment of your time to ask you some questions?
Absolutely.
Roll understand.
I roll and you can say what if I actually
Yeah.
do it or not. Just roll for the sake of convenience.
11.
10.
11 and 10. Both of you get the same impression. They're definitely looking for people. They're definitely searching people. They wouldn't have that many soldiers on patrol otherwise. It would maybe be like 2 or even 1. That being said, you don't think they're looking for you guys because they don't recognize you, and if they were looking for you, they'd have a description. So, looks like you're caravanners, correct?
Yep.
Okay. What is it that you are hauling? Do you happen to have any manifests?
I'm sure we do have manifests. Yeah, let me just go ask. I'm sure we do. I go ask Bea for some manifests for some like general goods. So
Bea passes you some manifests.
Yeah.
She walks up and goes, "These should have been signed in triplicate back with the Tall Trees Port Authority the last time we checked in for authenticity. Everything there should be up to date for all of the wagons present."
Yeah.
At this point, the guard sort of walks off for a little bit, looks over. There's another guard that's just getting a good view of the scene, and the other two move forward and go, "You don't mind if we look through some of your carts here, do you?"
Go ahead.
All right.
Fox with the heads.
It's chain shut.
So the first wagon is Reggie's. It's opened up. They start taking a look. Is there anything that would make a guard suspicious?
It's a pile of papers.
Okay. What would someone immediately glean upon reading these papers? It doesn't have to be in front of the party. Like, I can go off into the other room with you.
No. If you want to, like, let's see, which one?
Just pick a random.
Just give me the front page.
Nah. I'll give you the latest work, not the one I'm working on. Go with this one. This one's on top.
All right.
And so from the front of that, he would probably get like nothing from it. Like he has no idea what the hell this is. It's a tale of something.
So at this point, he finishes checking things out. They go and just ask you anything else, like any emergency weapon compartments we should know about.
Nope, I keep my weapons on me, thanks.
You're a writer, are you?
Yeah, recent hobby of mine.
How long?
Probably about a year now.
Anything I'd have read?
No, nothing published yet. Just kind of enjoying it.
Well, good luck with that.
I thought you were going to say for a month now, and then unload all of your divorce baggage onto this poor guard.
It all started when my wife divorced me.
It all started when I took 2d6 of divorce damage.
What I love about that is that I don't actually know if we've made that joke on stream or not. I don't know if you just made that up now or if we've already made it.
We made that joke.
We made that joke. It was a clapback to me making making embarrassment damage.
Yes.
Like taking embarrassment damage.
Oh yes, I remember. Okay, yeah.
It's a good clapback.
So, from Elmira's standpoint, you can see Henny is on like the ditch side and is close enough to the wagons. The next one that the two guards are reaching is Tiffany's. The guard that's surveying and the guard that's looking over the manifest both don't actually see the side that's near the ditch. Bea's wagon's in the back, and that's the one that has the heads.
We need to move those heads really quick.
Okay, so I guess I run up to Henny and she's
What?
on my side, right?
Mhm.
Like, give me the heads.
Just the boxes.
Okay.
Give me the fucking heads.
Okay. They're in the wagon. I don't have them on me.
Just quickly pass them.
I'm going to the wagon to get the heads, but they're like in the way. I have to go into the wagon to get them.
Okay, roll delicate.
God damn it!
Do I roll two?
No.
Okay.
Handy's got to hit the heads first.
6. You see the like sloshing thing, and you're full of dread, so you get the crate with Kree in it instead. You take out that one, and you just sort of quickly hop it over to Elmira. You quickly just like pull it off on the side. The next one is the big sloshing bucket. What do you want to roll for this, and why?
Well, it's not going to be quiet.
I could do a convince and just be like, oh, that's like an alchemy thing that I'm working on.
With a human head?
No, because it's chained shut right now, right? So I could
Just
just be
say
like,
it's fermenting.
yeah, it's fermenting, and like I really can't open it.
At risk of losing time, it's a very Henny thing to do. Can I roll any sort of science to deduce what's the best way to get this head unseen? Like, psychologically, guards are less likely to be suspicious if I don't try and move it.
You're sitting there and you're like, and then you see that there's like some art supplies at a nearby box. In a panic, you just get one of them and you just go, like, toxic hazard on the thing on top of it. And then you just go, and by then they've closed the door and they haven't reached the wagon yet, but
I stand next to it.
Bea's been handed back the manifest, and at this point the three of them are all sort of talking to Tiffany and Ednawald and go, crafters, eh? Traveling tailor and blacksmith.
Yep.
Good trade this time of year? Nice and cold?
I mean, that's probably a better question for Bea.
Now, real quick, what do we have to roll to hide in the wagon?
You could probably just be hanging out in it.
Yeah, I mean, are you hiding in the wagon?
I want to be, like, behind something, but if they see me, they'll be like, oh, she's obviously looking for something.
Inconspicuous.
Yeah, inconspicuous. But I want to have a reason for my face not to be pointing towards them. Like, maybe I'm looking for a spoke in this...
Maybe you're in the process of painting a beautiful picture with your back to the outside.
No, I'm looking for a spoke.
All right.
Wow, where is the spoke?
At that point, Bea walks over towards you and goes, oh, I know where that is.
You told me where it was, but I'm looking for where it actually is, because it's not there!
All right. Bea walks back and has the manifest.
Okay.
She, like, looks at you and sees the hazard thing, and it's like, what's the plan?
Vesta will know what to do!
Yeah, I'm just gonna...
You're facing away from them and actively talking to the guards.
Yeah. I'm talking to the guards right now.
Right, they move towards Bea's wagon and start looking through it. You see that they're opening a couple of the crates. Eventually, they get to the one that says hazard and go, hazard, eh?
Yeah, I'm an alchemist. I've been kind of mixing stuff together kind of willy-nilly, and I just, oh gosh, I can't open that right now.
Why is it not on the manifest?
Oh, it's just something. It's not something that we're selling. It's just I've been kind of throwing stuff together, and this one didn't really work out. So
okay, experiments.
Yeah.
Is there any? Could you tell us about these experiments and why it is that we can't check the inside of this?
Can I roll an alchemy for that?
Yeah. Social alchemy.
Social alchemy. Okay, that works.
Basically, you get to do what Henny always does, which is just
17.
techno-babble the shit out of it.
17.
17.
Yeah.
You start just going like, oh, well, the lid is on there because if there's any light, it'll ruin it, and that's going to set us back about like 20 gold in reagents. Really what it is we're just trying to speed up.
Yeah.
And you manage to sort of nerd them out, and they sort of go, okay, cool. All right. Excellent. Thank you for your compliance. You guys have a good day. Good luck with that spoke. And the soldiers go back on their route.
Are they out of sight?
Mhm.
I lean over to Vest and go, it's a good thing they didn't find the wilding soul.
I have that
I've
on.
told you guys, never break more than one crime at a time!
I've broken quite a lot at this point. Oh god.
Okay, so I guess I come back with the head.
Mhm.
I got the fucking head.
Gotta put it back
Good
in the
work.
box.
Good thinking on your feet.
Yeah, that was, thank God. 'Cause
I look around for anything that looks calming.
You ain't see shit.
Oh, might want to put another axe in his head.
Henny? You know what? I can do it myself. It's fine.
Thank you.
When you go to open up the crate, you see that there's still an axe wound.
Okay.
Oh, he's still good. And what about what about Vulcan?
Yeah, how much liquid is...
You see that one nostril and like half the snout is poking out. You're gonna need to refill this soon, but there's still a lot left.
Okay. I gotta find some calming items.
Well, who's at the 4?
Was it... Absolution and Trunk?
All right, because by now it would be the early morning, correct?
It's
Or
late
late
morning.
morning?
Yeah.
Okay. You guys are moving forward. Who wants to roll odds or evens?
I can. I'm gonna say odds, and that's an odd.
Okay.
Oh, thank God.
You guys move forward. You get a decent bit of distance. Want to pull up the map?
Yep.
You move back to the sector you were at before.
Alright. And come on, do the thing. Stupid string deck. There we go. Nope.
It's
no.
doing a heck.
It's chugging sometimes whenever you do
All right.
change.
So you managed to get to the outskirts of the town. From there, you can see at a distance that they're checking people going in and out, but you should be able to head around the far outskirts without being bothered, you hope. I can't see it quite well from where I am, but on the map, is there blue near there? Or blue coming by the town? Like the
There's
river?
a blue little square right there.
Not the square, like on the topography, there should be like a river.
There's rivers.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
see the rivers.
Does the river intersect where you are?
Yep.
You'd be at the town, basically.
Yeah.
Okay, in that case, you, specifically Henny and Vesta, because you're around here, you would know that you're near a river, which means you might be able to get onto a boat somehow. Any river around here is going to be watched, but it'll get you a lot quicker to the coast.
Oh, I think it's worth a risk. I mean, we barely survived one encounter with the guards. I think if we can get a boat, that'd be amazing. Okay, how big is this? This town's the blue square there, right?
Yeah. It's a proper town. There's stone walls around the edge. You reckon probably there's a couple tens of thousands of people who live here?
Okay. Well,
There's no way you'd get a boat without having to go through multiple security checkpoints.
can we get into the town without going through multiple security checkpoints? Shit. Okay.
Well, we can always try. I know we want to get on the boat here, but we can always try at the next
smaller
hamlet.
village. Would I be able to roll politics to see if there's
Yep.
a lot of fishing boats that would dock at smaller villages that we could catch?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. Oh, I lied. 15.
15. A lot of the places around here, like the hamlets and villages that would be alongside the river, would be more or less used so that people could bring logs
Okay.
up and down river. So they would be for bringing like sea products inland and bringing land products out to sea.
Okay.
So basically, yeah, any hamlet you go to, you're going to get onto a freighter.
Well, I suggest we go to a smaller hamlet. I think there's going to be boats all up and down here. I think that trying to go in through here is suicide or minimum jail time.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't
Alright.
think anything in our situation is minimum jail time. I think minimum jail time is the time it takes for them to find us and execute us.
I'm actually wanted for like death in a lot of places.
Okay, well, yeah, okay.
Like a lot of places.
Well, I'm sorry for being up. It's fine. I'm sorry. You're right. I shouldn't be so trivial and trite about our situation. You're right. Let's go to a hamlet.
All right. In that case, it's now noon. Who's at the head of the group?
Noon, Steel Fist, and Corvo.
All right. Who wants to roll odds or evens?
We'll do it.
Odds. Nope.
Even.
Reggie.
It's bound to happen eventually.
Yeah, it was.
Let's get back to that map and see where we're heading.
Yep. Okay. Okay, String Deck. You can do what you want.
You can leave your friend.
You do you.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to say.
Oh, I thought we were gonna have like a moment where we both thought the same joke. That was very
Oh.
funny.
No.
Nope.
Because your
No
friends don't
happiness for you.
dance.
Thank you.
I
Something
got you.
related or something.
Wild.
Crazy.
We both have dark
So-
eyes.
It's genetic.
It's genetic.
We had the glasses we inherited.
Which
don't know
way
what
are you
I'm
going?
I'm
You
assuming
came
we're
out of the
going
womb
north.
with the glasses on.
That was the joke I was trying
Okay, guys, which way are we going?
I'm assuming that we're going north and trying to cut west.
Yes. That.
Basically following
Yeah.
the river.
Yeah, following the river up to that hamlet north. Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, you make it all the way to the next village. Here you see that there are wood walls. There's also guards keeping an eye in and out. Here it's at a big like intersection between a couple of towns and cities, so it's easy enough for you guys to skirt around this one as well. However, You don't get so lucky. It seems that there's some guards anticipating it, and there's a checkpoint up ahead.
Nice.
You guys find out, however, because you're behind a couple of other caravans that are bypassing this city. How are we dealing with this?
Well, last time we had a checkpoint, we made a bolt for it, and we nearly got hit with multiple crossbows.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. There's not any way for us to like miss the checkpoint and then maybe, you know,
Only if you, like, turned around or something.
but that would look super suspicious, right?
Maybe.
Well, we might just have to go through the. Can we see what they're checking? Are they checking caravans?
They're going to be looking for us. I mean,
You notice that they've stopped travelers too, but it doesn't take long for this path to keep going. It seems like, for the most part, they're just looking at a couple of different documents, giving people a once-over, asking them a few questions, and then having them go on.
Well, they're looking for us.
okay.
Can we do like a "these are not the droids you're looking for" moment?
Can I flip in my Arcana book to? Is there a bit on illusion magic?
That you would know to be ritual magic. It would take a lot of time to prepare and might be suspicious, but you and Blue might be able to make it work out together if you work together.
Okay, I'm flipping through. I'm like, okay, so you could sort of do like a disguise, self sort of shapeshift.
I talk to Blue.
Spell,
I start talking to Blue.
That's a long shot. We could bribe them.
They just completely walk off, and Henny is still just like, the bribery might work, but
Yeah.
as we've seen with their hired help, that they're actually pretty hardened and might not accept it.
We could kill them. That's always an option. Or make a book for it. Neither of those are going to go good because we're stuck in traffic.
Yeah, so I talked to Blue about the whole ritual situation. Would it be
He goes, "We can do this. Just only you and me talk to them."
okay?
At this point, Blue turns and he puts a finger right towards Henny and goes, "Silence. You're intelligent, useful. The wizards need to work."
And I walk off to Bea's carriage, and I climb in, and I sit like, okay.
All right. At this point, like, you and Blue have different styles, but ultimately you both end up with the same thing, which is you hold two fingers crossed behind your back and you hope it works, basically.
It's like an anime scene where they're up at the front talking, and I'm in the back with the Arcana book doing the play-by-play, like the classes.
All right. You get to head of the group, and you and Blue are at the head of the group before anyone else. They start looking through things, and Blue goes, "So, interesting. We've been stopped a few times. Apparently there's some hooligans that look like us." At this point, there's almost like a glazing that happens over their eyes, and they go, "Is that so?" They go to point to Reggie to start to say something.
Yeah, man, there are some people
Roll ritual.
roll ritual. Social ritual or just normal ritual?
Normal ritual.
Oh, that wasn't very good. 10. 10 for ritual.
All right. So as Blue is sort of blustering and being super convincing, like, "Wow, absolute," you're actually doing what the spell is, and you're aware that Blue is doing this, but he's good, so you can't tell he's doing it alongside you.
Yeah.
You're sitting there and you're going, "It is a convenient circumstance that you happen to find people who look just like us, but that's not the case."
Mhm.
And now that you don't see Blue and this dude talking, all of the guards are looking at you like dead-eyed and going, "Isn't it convenient?"
Yeah.
At this point, Blue starts talking and you blink, and all the guards are like looking up and down your caravan and going, "All this stuff looks good? Yep. It is pretty convenient, isn't it?" Wow. Well, I hope you guys have a pretty good way alongside this, down this road.
Thank you.
Oh, one last question. They look towards you. Roll ritual again.
Okay. My hands are sweaty. 13.
All right, you've got your hand behind your back, you've got your fingers crossed, and you go, your supervisors would be angry, so you shouldn't tell this to them. Maybe just a funny joke to your friends, okay? And like, there's like 8 guards all deadlocked with you, completely glazed over, and they go, okay. They're just looking at you, and they just...
Yeah. You have a very nice day.
We will.
Comes home from work. Man, today was just great. I don't know why.
All right.
Great day!
My attitude towards life has been completely uplifted.
Just for this particular day.
And I don't want to sell death sticks anymore.
So, meanwhile, you guys were just being perfectly quiet, saying nothing, while a group of soldiers like looked at your entire caravan, identified all of you, and went, "Wow, pretty crazy coincidence, huh?" And then just let you go. Meanwhile, as they're just sort of going like poop poop the back of the car and everything, like nodding off, you, Vesta, still in the midst of the spell, just see them staring at you as you walk away, and then looking after you're past a certain radius, they just look dead ahead, and then get right back to what you were doing. Like, they just wave you past and start taking over the next caravan.
Perfect.
Can we talk now?
Yep.
Oh, thank God. I'm so
Can I just say, I was expecting, like, as the entire thing, we're walking past, and then Henny just goes, bye, and then, like, you just be like, so.
That's why I asked if I could talk now.
Well, that went pretty fucking good, I gotta say.
Yeah. Great job.
We should tell Henny not to talk more often.
You shut up.
No, you shut up. Because when you shut up, things go well for us.
So who's at the fore next? Who's going to be keeping watch?
We nearly died when you have these hot takes and funny jokes. It's fine. That's fine.
I'll say Reggie and Albion.
By now, it is the early afternoon. It's Reggie and Elbjorn. Who's going to be at the head of the group?
I'll do it.
All right. Odds or evens, and draw a card.
Odds.
Damn it.
And drawing a card. Hey, at least I got 3 hearts.
Okay, you guys are making some good progress. Mind if I just check the map again to make sure you're going to the right place? There should be a hamlet along the road that intersects.
Yep. It
The
would be
river.
the one down to the south. Like, this is the town, and this should be the hamlet that intersects the river.
Okay, so then you aren't quite at the next village when you see that there's some more security checkpoints being set up here.
Oh my God. Well, I mean, it worked last time, right?
Oh my god. Gotta do it again?
Well, I mean, we could think of something, but apparently my ideas are all
is there a
distracting.
is there like an actual way around this time, or is it like no?
Just like the last time, you might be able to skirt the edges. You just don't know if they're going to do the same thing and wait for people who are skirting around the edge.
I mean, we have to take the chance, right?
Yeah.
If they ask us why we're skirting the edge, we just say we have precious cargo and don't want to get stopped at a thing.
Yeah, I mean, we could play the role of irate. Well, Vesta could play the role of irate alchemist that had her alchemy completely ruined by the last checkpoint that opened it. Do you know how long it takes for rye bread to go stale? I have to get this to the next.
Right as you're in the middle of thinking that and you're going off the side, you see that, unlike the last one that had a bunch of people being stopped, this one, there's just a patrol going down that notice you and nod. Hi, sorry, we just need to check you real quick.
Sure.
You're being irate.
Hmm?
I thought you were being irate.
That was Henny's plan. No one listens to Henny around here.
Oh.
Well, you're at the head of the group.
I'm not at the head of the group.
Well, you're not the
Oh,
fore guard, but
Yeah.
like you guys gather up.
yeah.
You're the first person they talk to as the evident leader.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. Do you want to see our manifests or whatever?
Yep, mind if we could just go and see those?
Absolutely. I pull them out and give them to them really quick.
All right. They move their way through. They're going to search Reggie's cart first. They're looking through the manifest, same as normal.
Oh, they're searching the carts again?
Mhm.
Oh gosh.
Henny is in the back writing in a ink that will dry soon. Do not open Vesta.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. I'll do it again.
All right. What are you doing?
So when they get to the carts, I'll just feel like, oh god, I'm doing some alchemy stuff and I can't open them because like the last person that opened them like ruined the last batch. And, oh gosh, it was such a thing, and you know.
Okay. They go from wagon to wagon. They get to Bea's again. They get to this thing, and you spin a yarn. They're looking through the crates, and they get to one right next to Henny. You didn't mark anything on the one with Kree's head in it, did you?
I did. Because
That's the one that he's saying.
Yeah,
is
so the
paint dry.
one that has the liquid has the danger, and then he was saying don't open.
yeah.
Yeah, Vesta on the. Did you write Vesta on it?
I said I did. I didn't think to not.
You fucked up.
The moment I see that, and I try to draw their attention away from that really quick.
It is wet, so you can just kind of.
I see your horrified look, and I go, and I kind of,
Just slip
I slip. Yeah,
on wet paint.
on wet paint and smudge it just ever so slightly. Do I have to roll delicate for that to do it unnoticeably?
You're not sure you could get away with that. You think they might have already seen it, but you don't really know. That being said, they're going, all right, sounds good. Thanks for stopping for the checkpoint. Thanks for complying. Hope you have a good day in your travels. Like, tap the back of the wagons.
I want to sleuth them to see if they're like tense, to see if their body language has changed since we last saw them.
Go for it.
Vesta on the.
I'm sorry, okay? I panicked.
Can I roll understanding?
Mhm.
Like tactics or understanding? One of the two.
I'm going to say tactics.
Okay.
I got 25.
25 on sleuth.
Yes.
So I'm going to wait to have all these
That's
resolve in
16.
orders. Because all three of you guys rolled something, right?
I didn't roll anything.
Okay, so you rolled tactics first.
But
What'd
to
you
be,
get?
to be
16.
16. They might not have orders to detain you.
they may not also not know me as Vesta. Like if they're looking for me because of the murder of
Vulcan. Yeah, you
Vulcan,
didn't use your name.
I went by Mila.
You went by Mila. The only people that know you as Vesta are the life drinkers who are behind this whole thing. And what is it?
Which would obviously know me as Vesta. Okay, yeah.
But maybe not. Who knows?
Your 25 sleuthing is a very, very high roll. Do you want to have some self-insight or some insight into what the people are trying to do to catch you?
What the people are trying to do to catch? Actually, yeah, what the people are trying to do to catch. Henny has also rolled 8 on her, was it C? The,
What? What did, okay,
Never mind.
I asked you to
Henny-
roll sleuthing. What did you roll?
I rolled 25.
Okay.
Henny has rolled 8 on her self-awareness as a character. So she's looking for what they're trying to do to catch us.
Okay. You reckon that if they have the name Vesta, they have all of you at this point.
Mhm.
That being said, if they're looking based on the most recent stuff, they would be using the name Mila. They'd be looking for a Mila, rather.
If you're looking for a Mila.
They'd be basically looking for the people who were actually at the assassination in Last Hearth.
Well, worst case scenario, they know we're here. They haven't started chasing us with pikes or spears or arrows. They're not currently trying to kill us. We might still be able to make it to a boat and leave.
At the next hamlet, there's no guards, there's no one looking through town, and it doesn't take you until another time check to get there. You get there quite quickly. Here you see that they're loading various sort of flat bottom freighters that are all heading out towards the sea. Well, what are you gonna do?
First of all, I just want to formally say I'm sorry. I fucked up.
It's okay. We
Panicked.
all make mistakes.
I wasn't thinking.
I mean, at least they didn't find the fucking heads.
It's true.
I have a feeling that even though they didn't have orders to detain us, They probably would if they found the heads.
It's true, it's true. 2 random people's heads.
So we're going to go find a boat.
Yeah, but I think our best bet is to get out of here as fast as we can. Assume that they know who we are, and
So we need to know right now who's all coming and who's all leaving.
Bea just looks at you and goes, I'm sorry, you said it. This is dangerous.
Yeah.
It's been good.
No, it has. It's for a second I thought maybe I could have a life back. And that was a stupid thought. I'm sorry.
For some reason that you don't actually know, Bea just kind of goes, me too. So Tiffany, Edelwald, Bea, and Johnstone leave.
that's fair.
Maybe he'll come up and put an arm around you.
Johnstone really didn't sign up for this.
You did not sign up for this shit.
Poor Johnstone.
So
Did he just get dumped?
Yeah.
I
Sucks.
have very good hearing.
Oh shit, sorry.
So actually no, how are you guys getting on a boat though?
Oh gosh.
By any means necessary at this point.
Yeah. Well, we want to. Okay, so what do we have now? Do we have a cart still? We have your
You just
cart.
have Reggie's, and you have space to keep both of these things basically in the cargo section, but it fills it out. So like, it's not that you have a couple of heads in your wagon, so to speak. They're in the cargo section, but now all of your stuff is strewn around, so your wagon's a mess.
Fair.
Okay.
Not bad roll.
Yep, bedroll, tent. Are we stocked up on supplies?
Got a couple of supplies.
Well, yeah, we should stop at like a place and get some food.
Well, one person should do that because we need to find a boat as soon as possible.
yeah. Okay.
I suggest we go to the docks and find the most desperate-looking person and give them all our money.
But that would just be you.
Poor Hetty. Having a bad day.
And again, he puts his arm around you.
Okay, Trunk, do you want to come help me get the fucking supplies for a little bit? And we'll let everybody else here figure out the next plan.
All right. Trunk
Right,
heads
that
off
was
with you.
a bad thing to say.
Right.
At this point, Red is there, and he goes, to be fair, she made a lot of insensitive comments about your own divorce.
That's why I'm not too upset about it.
So, yeah, in concrete terms, what's the plan? How are you getting on a boat? Are you hiring a ferry? Are you trying to buy a boat?
Probably get on a ferry.
How much would a boat go for? Like 20 gold?
That depends on the boat. But that would be the range-ish.
I have 8 gold.
2.
I don't have any.
I'll abstract what the NPCs are able to fork
Yeah.
up based on what these guys have.
I have 10, but I don't think that we...
Everyone here is fucking rolling in it, and meanwhile I'm just gonna try and afford food for a while. Bullshit.
Yes. I have no idea where I got all this money. Yeah.
So, actually, would you be following that most desperate tip?
Yeah, it's up to you clowns because I'm out getting supplies.
I mean, it makes sense. Like, if we don't have that much money.
All right, what?
How much is a ferry? Like,
Just to pay? Well, that's the thing. It would be a reasonably low cost, and it would get you like to sea or whatever. But it would get you like into the next village. That would be very conspicuous, unless you had some sort of false identity or you had a.
Out of character, my vote is to buy a boat.
Same. Like,
okay, yeah.
if we can't afford it, we should try and buy it. We can always sell it.
And you have a wagon you can sell too for collateral. Like,
Also, if you really, really, really want something out of character, but in character you wouldn't justify it, you can always say that the NPCs outvoted, so that your character gets outvoted. Like, if you really want a boat, you could always say Henny still disagrees, but the
Yeah.
party outvotes her.
Henny wants a fucking boat. Like, part of not trusting anybody means not trusting desperate sea captains.
All right. Well, are you looking for someone desperate? Not Henny, but the rest of the party.
Yeah, I'd say we're looking for someone who's a bit desperate, probably.
You see that there's a captain just staring at a boat. All the other boats are actually tied to the docks, but this one is anchored in the middle of the river, so it's not even touching it. You see that it has a bunch of scorch marks.
Scorch marks.
Been in battle.
It might be our boat.
Can I roll militactics to see what shape this boat's in?
This wouldn't be something that's militactics.
Militactics to see what kind of thing this boat was in.
Yeah, can I see what may have attacked it? Or
You recognize it as just being standard burns, fire of some sort. This really isn't something Reggie would know much about.
Okay.
The trouble is, I think I know. a bit
Can I
about
go
this
up to the
boat.
captain?
Yeah?
Is that your boat?
Rather it weren't, but I suppose I'm saddled with it till it crumbles into the river.
Yeah, it kind of looks like a shitty boat. What happened to it?
Cursed, I reckon. Took many lives, the captain before me, and the captain before him, but no one told me. And I got it, and boats have a legacy, never goes away.
It's a haunted, cursed boat.
When you say it like that, doesn't sound so real, but I'd trust it if I were you.
Oh,
If you want it, be my guest, but
like for free?
for no money. I would never tell you that this is for free.
What? Shit, I guess I'll take it.
At that point, he goes, just don't dock it to port. Use the little boat. You look and you see that it's like it's a river trader, so you would be able to haphazardly sail it close to shore if you needed to, but really it's like a wide, flat-bottom ship for transporting cargo. It's big enough for your wagon and potentially another wagon if you happen to get one.
Cursed ship. Like it.
Don't tell Henny.
Hey, Henny, we got a ghost ship.
How are we? Okay, no. Reggie, when he says the whole like "don't dock it, take the small boat" thing, can we even fit the wagon in the small boat? Like,
You would have to find a boat launch like out of town off of an old road or something.
yeah, that's kind of what I thought.
That being said, given your situation, that might not be the worst thing in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds.
Let's
fun.
do it. Boat launch out of town.
Yeah.
Somewhere in
Alright.
the woods. Hidden
So,
away.
how many people here would actually know how to sail a boat in the party, do you reckon?
Not
Henny's
me.
read lots of books about it. Has never touched it, but she thinks she knows what to do.
Honestly, at this point, that's probably the biggest danger to the crew, is that Henny thinks she knows how to do a lot of things. Henny's the sort of person who watches like 50 hours of physics YouTube and is like, I'm basically a physicist.
Yeah, I understand Kepler's laws.
To be fair, that's most physics students.
Ooh,
Ooh.
the clapback at will.
Honestly, no, that's a clapback at physics students. Mainly because you aren't really a physicist until you've got a PhD because the entire discipline is broken.
I mean, yeah, like. Ugh,
You
anyway,
kind of have a piece of paper until it's a PhD, or unless you can use your capabilities for some other job.
Mhm.
They used to do that all the time. We would have seminars, and it'd be people. They'd frame it so positively, like, "Look at how versatile your degree is," and people going, "Yeah, you know, like I managed to get a really high-paying job in the financial sector because I knew the right people and told them I was good at math." And you hear other people going, "Yeah, I went and did a double major with engineering, and now I have a really like." Safe position in an engineering firm where they need someone like me and I'm hard to replace." And it took a while until I sat there going, wait, none of you are employed as physicists.
yeah, I'm good at math. Hire me.
Yeah, basically.
So Trunk, you said Trunk was voting for the sea, eh? So, Trunk, do you know a lot about what sort of supplies we're gonna need?
Used to be in the Navy. We want sea biscuits, probably some salt cod, I reckon.
Okay, I'm sure the general store will have that.
Yeah, that'd be what they have.
Okay, how much?
Hardtack and
How much for?
it's rations and supplies. It's a standard rate.
Okay,
Which is 5 copper.
5 copper for how many people? 8? 2, 3, 4, 5.
Where are my pencils?
I mean, are you asking people to chip in, or are you?
No. I'm just trying to calculate how much to buy here to supply this boat for like a month.
Ghost ship.
But that's the question. Are you supplying for yourself or for?
Oh, for everybody. Like I'm doing this so that everyone else can pay attention to getting a boat and we can get out of here faster.
So hold on. Are you asking what every person, including all the NPCs, would have to pay for supplies for this ship?
Yes, I guess that is what I'm asking.
And are you asking all of the NPCs to pay their fair share?
Yeah.
Then it's the same as if you were buying your own supplies for a month.
Okay.
Because that's the share you're paying.
Okay, fine. Okay.
We don't need to go through all that.
Okay.
What would it be for a month?
That's 30 days times a silver a day is 3 gold.
So it's 6 gold for me. I can't afford that.
Oh, well, you see my financial straits here.
I have 2 gold. I cannot afford a month.
Oh yeah, because you're eating twice as much. Okay.
Now, while you may have a cursed boat, there is someone that you heard near the docks trying to sell an enchanted fishing rod. Here, of course, it's a dialect thing, and this translation of enchanted very much sounds more like it would in the real world than it does here. This isn't a fishing rod that has runes on it so it does fire. This is like a magic fishing rod.
Not a
We got a ghost ship. Why not have a magic
he,
fishing
How
rod?
much is he selling it for?
2 gold.
Fuck off, Will.
we arrived.
I have 1 copper after that. Literally 1 copper. No.
A magic fishing rod.
You monster.
I mean, that is a good point. I'll buy some. Did Trunk suggest to buy fishing and tackle gear as sort of a way to get food in the ocean?
I mean, none of you are fishermen.
No.
I mean, yeah, you throw the line out and you wait, and a fish bites, and
At that, when you say that, Trunk says, "Be my guest, but maybe we should pack some rations."
I'm about to buy it, and I think maybe the man who's in the Navy is right. And maybe I don't know how to fish. I'll buy the rations.
I give you 4 gold.
Yeah, no, I'll fork over some gold for you two to buy them out the rations. Like,
Okay.
Okay, so in that case, to actually make this ship work, you can easily get it out, and start moving, but there would need to be 2 people other than Trunk and Steelfist that would need to be, trained to be sailors. You don't need them to be fully trained now, but...
Henny is always down for training.
Alright. Who else?
I'll be a sailor.
Like, I'll do it. There's also Milton to consider.
Milton? I think, I think
if
he would.
Milton wants to learn, then he can definitely.
I think
do it
Milton
as
would be
well.
a good one. Rollins would be a good one.
Do you need to
Alderaan
be
would a good one.
strong?
It's literally just who's going to start being a sailor. 'Cause
I'll start being a sailor.
Okay.
there's a number of different people that offer, so you guys kick off and figure you'll oscillate duty around.
This hamlet's too small to have a bookstore, eh?
Yep. So you guys get a little ways from town, meet back up with Reggie, and get the wagon on. Now that you're on it proper and you're starting to sail, you see that there is damage from what looks like a fire, but the ship somehow, even though there's some extensive scorch marks, seems to be miraculously unharmed.
Hell yeah, ghost ship.
Does anyone else have good feelings towards this?
Not at all.
Okay. Okay. Next
Go
thing you tell me,
shit.
someone tried to sell you a magic fishing rod or something.
Go shit.
That did happen.
Okay, well,
So you guys are heading back onto the road. Well, the river now, I guess.
Would you say that this river water would have a calming effect?
Good question.
Rivers are sometimes calm.
As you guys travel on, do you want to roll alchemy?
Yeah, I do.
And do you want to pull up the map as well?
Oh, that's too many dice.
It's now the late afternoon, I believe.
16.
16, all right. You are moving still parallel to the road for the most part, but the places where the river bends off and far away from everyone else, there's moments where you reach down and you manage to get little bits and strands. It takes a lot of time. You have to interrupt it and start again the further and further you get from people, but you manage to extract enough to top up the bucket with the head in it. As for distance, you make it to the edge of like 2 squares away, downriver.
Like that, because we were like right here.
Yeah.
So
And then it goes up or down there.
it goes up.
Okay. So then you make it a little further just before the hamlet, basically. You're almost out to sea as it happens. By now, it is the dinner hour.
Well, eat up. I got rations.
Woo!
Whoa. Anyway,
It's at that point that you hear like Steelfist already down in the bellows of the ship, like pulling out a barrel going, "Salt God, my favorite!"
Well, I'm glad someone's happy. And I grab I guess a plate of salt cod, and I head out to find a cabin. If the ship even has those.
I mean, it's more like it has a bunk room.
Okay.
There's one, like, there's the captain's quarters, but when you go in there, you feel like this room belongs to someone else and you shouldn't go in.
That is a really illogical feeling. I'm just gonna go with it. Okay, well, I'm going to the bunk room.
Reggie takes the bottom bunk. You do not want him at the top bunk.
Now is that Reggie like
No.
a sleeping pecking order, or is Reggie following Henny into the bunk?
No, it's just like that's just how Reggie
Okay.
does. When it
Okay.
comes time to assign bedding, he's like, "Trust me, if that rope breaks, you don't want to be below me."
Well, there are certainly more respectable things that could kill me at any moment, so
And you probably want to dab out those.
yeah, I would rather yes.
I'm just gonna be down here.
I'm not going to sort of do the math, but I don't think my face stands a better chance than a horse's entire skeletal system.
You would be right.
So are you guys going to keep sailing or are you anchoring?
We are sailing.
All right. You sail onward.
Onwards.
To freedom.
You guys make some okay headway. You make it out to sea, and now you can basically go on either channel if you so choose.
South, I think. That
Yeah,
was the
so
ocean
it goes
south.
to the actual ocean.
All right. Here it's a lot choppier, so you basically end up exactly where you have it right now.
Cool.
You don't move as fast. This isn't meant to be a seafaring boat, but I mean, it has some resilience at the very least. So by now it would be, I said it, the dinner hour had passed,
Yeah.
so now it is dusk. What you doing?
I would like to do some. Would it be a ritual to detect ghosts on this ship?
Ghosts aren't really a thing in Bloodwine.
To detect magic on this ship.
Yeah, that would be a ritual.
I'm going to do some detect magic. 5th edition call out. 12.
12. You, for a while, you feel like there's a presence on the ship, which is unusual. Until eventually you finally start to pin it down. It's more like the ship is the thing. After, like, personally, like, you and Blue have both been irked by Henny being like, I know how magic works, I have a book.
Mhm.
And begrudgingly you go, shit, we need the book.
I ask Henny.
Henny's not on deck. Henny's in the bunk room.
I search for Henny. Need your book?
Okay.
I take the book.
All right. You look through it. You eventually find a page on manifestations. You find that there's a ship that's just called the Unlucky Sailor's Boat. You see that it has some sort of... It's described as always being similar, like a boat that is destroyed beyond repair but somehow sailable. This boat is rumored to be basically like a saving grace kind of thing. This boat will keep you safe as long as nothing else will, but the moment that you're secure and have access to anything better, this boat becomes a death trap.
Cool, so perfect for us.
Nice.
When you give back the book, I say, "Oh, you figured out that it's the unlucky sailor ship, eh?"
Roll... Nah, you roll Arcana.
Ah, man. Okay.
Go shit.
Damn it. That's only a 12.
So you learn that it's the wreck of the St. Augustine, right? And you see that it's like the next page, it's a different boat manifestation, and it's completely incorrect.
I nod.
Giving Henny that win.
And then hand the book back and leave. Henny's had a long day. You know?
Yeah. Henny's... I'm going to sleep. That's a joke only Lane got, I think.
I did get that
Yeah,
joke.
you did get it.
I did not get that.
Well, time to do the funniest thing ever. Explain the joke, please.
No. Please, no.
Well, that's unambiguous. All right. Well, that's going to be where we leave you for a bit of tension. You're on a ghost ship, basically. Not a ghost ship. It's more like
Ghost
the
ship.
ship is the ghost.
Yeah.
It's more
Still
like
ghost ship.
it's a magical manifestation. It's a different category of
Ghost
thing.
ship.
Ghost ship.
And we're going to be heading off to, well, safety more than anything else. If you guys want to check this out, we're going to be back. We're still here next week, but it's the week after that. There's no Bloodwine.
No,
No,
it's
it's
next
next
week.
week. Next week there's no Bloodline.
No Bloodwine next week, but the week after that, we're going to be back at twitch.tv/Mr. Croden. You'll be able to watch the episodes as they come up at youtube.com/Mr. Croden. You can find the rules to this game at bloodwine.fandom.com. And is there anything to...
Tomorrow is going to be a RimWorld stream. So if you like Bloodwine,
Did you get the DLC?
I'm going to be getting the DLC, yes. So basically, RimWorld just stealth dropped a huge DLC.
How massive is it? Is it like...
It's fairly big. It's like a good overhaul mod where they added in like lineages and titles and like weird psychic powers.
Oh, like
and,
entire new mechanics.
Yeah, like entire new mechanics.
Oh god.
And
I'm
so,
gonna have to spend the next couple hours doing that.
Yeah. So I'm gonna be looking into that
It's
tomorrow.
10 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
You have an exam tomorrow.
Right, well I meant not... Well... I said what I said, and I made my choice.
Nice.
See, the trick is you have to say, it's going to be self-care so that I'm not stressed by the time my exam starts. That's my usual go-to excuse for fucking around before an exam.
Self-care.
Like when I tried to invent a rum syrup shot.
I think I heard that described from the bathroom. Napalm-like, I think, was what you...
Yes, it's the beverage equivalent of napalm because it gets all that burning pure rum and it makes it viscous. So you can't swallow it very quickly.
Just like how you're going to have an extra week to swallow what happened on Bloodwine, and it's going to be that pure fire of desperately anticipating the next episode, I'm sure.
Go shit.
Ghost ship.
We'll see you around. Take it easy.
Bye,
Bye,
everyone.